Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am back for another Weekly United, and this week so much has gone on. Not only has Marcus Rashford been a hero on the pitch, but he continues to be a hero off the pitch. Mason Greenwood has grabbed the headlines for the wrong reasons, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out in defence of him this week as well. Manchester United apparently also looking into the possibility of a director of football yet again, and Facundo Pellistri will make his first appearance for Manchester United since arriving, albeit not for the first team. So we've got loads to discuss this week. Hope you guys are all doing well. I apologise for the slow up in content since the transfer window closed and the game started coming thick and fast. You know, I'm doing loads more for Stretford Paddock at the minute. Obviously, that's our priority, but AdamMcKola TV is still a priority, and we're still continuing the content on here as regularly as possible, daily as well. And of course, those United daily videos will be returning. I'm just not sure what time they're going to return. It may be an earlier time for everyone to get stuck into. So make sure you're keeping it locked. You're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing as well. Of course, join if you can too. We've already got some exclusive members only videos up there, like a back in the day throwback match day vlog of United 4, City 3, Matt and Herrera behind the scenes stuff, and a few other bits as well. So go and check that out, and there's more to come. But let's get stuck into all the latest. And as we were saying, Marcus Rashford, a hero on the pitch at Paris, in the Parc des Princes, against PSG, yet again at that end scoring the winner for Manchester United. This time it was a more, it wasn't a penalty, it was a much more beautiful goal. A great touch on the edge of the box, turning into space, another touch out of his feet, bang, into the net. A fantastic finish, and Manchester United deserved that victory. It was a victory that we really deserved. You have to take your hat off to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who I thought did fantastically well with not only his team selection, but the alterations in the formation and his substitutions as well. I thought he got it really spot on, and it shows you the luxury of having good players on the bench. We've needed a better bench for a long time now. We didn't get all of the players that we wanted, but having the likes of Pogba on the bench, of course he's not going to be a bench player week in, week out, but him being on the bench and being available to come off, it changed the game. Alex Telles coming into the squad, showing what he can offer with the delivery and everything from there as well. And the likes of McTominay and Fred stepping up, squad players, Aaron Wan-Bissaka becoming an absolute animal at the back. He was all over Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe managed to get out of his back pocket to jump on Zoom with Anthony Joshua this week, but the performances from some of those guys out on the pitch, Axel Tuanzebe, what a guy. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been speaking about him as well, and how much of a leader he is this week too. But not only has Marcus been a hero on the pitch in that game with so many others, but he's continued his heroism, or his heroics, off the pitch as well. And he's continued to rally behind his campaign to end child food poverty. Now his free school meals to continue during the holidays of this pandemic times was rejected in the Houses of Parliament. It was rejected by a vote, and it was obviously a decision that we didn't want to see happen. Now he's carried on. If you look at his social media in the last couple of days, you will see it's awash with people that are getting involved with Marcus Rashford's campaign to help provide those meals that the government have failed to do. Now, I don't want to go in the ins and outs of it. Everybody knows about the campaign that Marcus Rashford is doing. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you can in any way help support that. But from my perspective, I'm so proud of Marcus Rashford. Like, a lot of people, don't know me personally, but as a kid, I was a working class kid, grew up. My mum was in receipt of benefits. I went to a public school. We weren't the wealthiest, we weren't the richest. We got by okay, but we relied on benefits at times. We relied on free school meals. We relied on milk tokens. We relied on those things. And I remember as a kid being a bit embarrassed by getting a dinner ticket or getting those things like that. And it's never the child's fault. No matter the reasons behind it, it could be parents losing a job, it could be, whatever the reasons behind it, it's never the kid's fault. It's never the kid's fault. And just to see someone stand up like that and try and, like, someone so prominent as Marcus Rashford, and not just use it for a good bit of PR, but to keep going. Now, they gave him an MBE hoping that he'd probably think, you know, I've done my work, I'm an MBE now, I can sit back and relax. But he hasn't. He's continued, and he come off the pitch after scoring a goal against PSG to win it for United, and he carried on back at his campaign. And he could easily just chill, relax, and, you know, not have to worry about that. His PR is fine. You know, he's not doing this for selfish reasons. He's doing this for reasons, you know, for other people. And I'm so proud that he's one of our players. So proud. And as a child, like, that would have done so much for my self-esteem if, like, you know, imagine Marcus, like, because he's making you look, he's showing you that it's not an unusual thing for people to come on hard times or require a little bit of help. Do you know what I mean? And what a don. What an absolute don Marcus Rashford is. And he deserves all of our support. And it's great to see loads of people getting behind him as well, even if the government won't. Talking about another one of our young strikers, Mason Greenwood, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has rushed out to defend him, saying the media are starting to go after the Manchester United striker. Now, there were reports of Mason Greenwood being punished for his timekeeping and his lack of professionalism, turning up late for training, etc, etc. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and denied that and said it's absolute rubbish. Since what happened with England on international duty, when he was he was in the wrong. But since that happened, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said the press have absolutely hounded him and gone after him. And he said there's absolutely nothing wrong with his timekeeping, nothing wrong with his professionalism, nothing wrong with the work that he is doing. And he's fine with Mason Greenwood. And I'm glad to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming out and trying to fan the flames of those stories that were about there. Now, it may be true. Do you know what I mean? It may actually be true. But for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come out in public and say, hold up, back the fuck up off my player. Because this is a 19-year-old boy. And when you look at you look at the bigger picture, if he has been guilty of these things, it's not a huge issue. They can be resolved. Now, you don't want him to be. But if they are, they can be resolved. And if it is just pure paper talk, it's another example of how they try and build people up to knock them down. Now, you could say he's invited pressure, he's invited criticism with what he did on international duty, and that's fine. But ultimately, this is a young boy. This is a kid that's coming through. Yes, he's highly paid. Yes, this, that and the other. But we need to protect him. Tell him that he's wrong behind closed doors, and in front of the cameras, do what he's done. And if he's done nothing, maybe it's just to do with a drop of form. He needs a little bit of time off to clear his head. Little bit of fitness, there could be other reasons for it, but because he's had that incident on England duty, it's easier for people to believe these stories when they are out there, even if they are false. So great to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come into the defence of Mason Greenwood. They need to back the fuck up, protect Mason and Marcus at all costs. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his press conference also said, I hope and expect to have all three of Cavani, Greenwood and Maguire available for selection. Of course, we've got a training session in the morning, which was Friday, which is the last chance of preparation, but they've all got a chance, all of them. We could be seeing Edinson Cavani's debut at Old Trafford, and of course Mason Greenwood returning, which would be good considering Martial is out, still suspended for this one. So yeah, good news to be getting those guys back. Will Maguire get back in the team after Axel's performance? What a performance from Axel Twanzebe. What a performance. Here we go again with the director of football rumours. United are on red alert at the possibility of hiring Luis Campos as sporting director, say Canal via Man United, MEN, and of course Man United Zone, thanks to the guys there. I don't read it. I don't believe any of this. We always hear these stories floating around. At the end of the day, we might bring someone in a role, but it's not going to be a sporting director role. It's not going to be a director of football role. They're going to be in a role where they are just advisors. They are just giving advice. They are unable to make decisions. They don't have any power. Ed Woodward is not going to give up any of his or Matt Judge's power. That is for sure. They may as well change their names to Glazer. Ed Glazer, that's his name. Because he is one of them. He does what they say. They're not going to start giving their power away at all. And even if they did, they ultimately have to answer to them. A director of football can set up all these deals, but ultimately Judge and Woodward are going to be negotiating them. And that's the fucking problem. Facundo Pellistri is set to make his debut for Manchester United's under-23s. If you're watching this, he may have already done it, as that's Friday night UK time. So Facundo Pellistri finally going to get a chance to see him in a Manchester United shirt of some sort. And of course, it's not for the first team, but we did see him with the first team squad on the bench against Paris Saint-Germain. Will he be involved on Saturday? If he plays, I imagine he might get in the match day squad. He might get on the bench, but unlikely he's going to start, that's for sure, against Chelsea. So good to see him getting some minutes under his belt, get acclimatised to English football as well, the pace of it, the physicality of it, and you know, test himself against some of the players his age range. So great to see him getting an opportunity, and I'm sure it won't be long until he's getting one for the first team. Anyway guys, that has been a little roundup of the latest Manchester United news. Obviously there's loads of other stuff as well, but we will be covering a lot of that, and we have covered a lot of that over the last week or so. Of course too, we will have the Manchester United Chelsea preview, which is coming up for you guys later on today as well, so keep it locked for that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, join if you can as well. But for now, this has been the Weekly United. Get your thoughts in on all we have discussed in the comments below. Facundo Pellistri, Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial. Sorry, didn't even discuss Anthony Martial. I just got Anthony Martial on the brain. Marcus Rashford, Edinson Cavani, Greenwood, Maguire, all that good stuff. And the fake news of United getting a director of football. For now though guys, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of here.